And what is up, everybody? I just finished watching UFC 195, and I must say it was jaw dropping. All right. Okay, starting with Stephen Struve getting outclassed by a nobody. Don't even remember the guy's name. It didn't make any sense. Stephen Struve. One of the top heavyweights in UFC, and this guy comes out of nowhere and just completely outclasses him. Sad. Uriah Hall versus Brian, was it Winston? I forget. And Uriah and Brian Winston. I'm watching. I'm not a fan of Uriah Hall's style of fighting. However, but I know he's one of the top middleweights in the world. And then for this kid to come up and just completely outclass him like that, good on him. Good on him, because what I felt bad about though was he was making a lot of mistakes. He made a lot of mistakes and was still able to be in control of the fight. Uriah Hall, I figured Uriah Hall would wait till this kid makes a mistake and then capitalize on it. Instead, Uriah Hall was just absolutely looked almost useless. In the third round, it looked like Uriah Hall might have been able to turn the fight around, but he didn't. And needless to say, this new kid gets the win. Good on him. Bigfoot versus Mark Hunt 2. First round knockout. Winner Mark Hunt. Mark Hunt. At first, it kind of looked like Bigfoot got tripped and it was an early stoppage. Instead, once they went to the replay, and I guess the referee had a better vantage point, because as Bigfoot's trying to run away, Mark Hunt catches him like right here. And you automatically see just Bigfoot's knees just buckle and fall down because he's rocked. And then you see him try to cover himself as he's going down, because now Mark Hunt is going to start raining punches on him. Now, mind you, Mark Hunt really needed this win, having just lost two straight fights, getting knocked out both times. If he'd have lost this fight, UFC would have cut him. No ifs, ands, or buts, UFC would have cut him. The fact that he was able to do this to Bigfoot, okay, he secured his spot in UFC for a little bit longer. Personally, I think they should put him up against Cain Velasquez. However, I think Cain Velasquez would win. And Mark Hunt can beat. He absolutely can beat Fabricio Verdum. There's not a doubt in my mind. Fabricio Verdum got lucky, and I really, there's not a doubt in my mind that Mark Hunt can beat him. I don't think he can beat Cain Velasquez. Cain Velasquez is a great wrestler, and he's got fists like cruise missiles. They hit fast, they hit hard, they hit often, they hit accurately. But we'll see what happens next. Finally, the two main events. You have the co-main event, Joanna, however you pronounce her last name, from Poland, versus girl from Canada. And girl from Canada it was a good fight. It was a good fight. But clearly, Joanna just completely outclassed her. Fight went the distance, and Joanna just beat on this girl. Granted, the girl, got a few licks in, and then waits till the fifth round to finally start going for broke. You already lost four. You already lost 4 rounds. At this point, I'm surprised you're even bothering to stand up. Really, and you would think especially at this point, you'd have put too much, a little bit more of an effort. But of course, she got knots on the left side of her, on her left thigh, and getting kicked so many times. It was pretty bad. And then, finally, main event of the evening, Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey. Now, typical walk-in for both of them. Holly Holm comes in looking like, she ran in like she was jogging. And basically, she a very calm demeanor. Ronda Rousey came out the same way she normally does. Basically bent on this girl's destruction now. Prior to this, you had the weigh-in Friday night, and I was shocked to see that Ronda Rousey felt the need to completely disrespect Holly Holm. I mean, I thought she was more or less turning over a new leaf. I mean, especially after what happened in the last fight, and this just came out of to me, it looked like it came out of nowhere. Apparently, there was no respect with her, and so for this fight, she's got the same look of just focus of absolute destruction towards her opponent. Then the fight actually started, and it was a completely different story. Holly Holm basically put that classical boxing to use and outclassed her, outsmarted her, made her look like a complete idiot. By the end of the first round, Ronda Rousey looked like she was lost. I mean, like she, not that like just confused, like didn't even know where she was. It was ridiculous, bloody, absolute mess. Second round, more of the same thing, ends with a head kick. And catches her right around here, which is very, very nasty. It's like almost a guaranteed knockout. You catch somebody like right here, that takes out, obviously the back of the head, does some serious damage. Ronda Rousey just hits the floor, eats a bunch more punches that she cannot answer. Poor girl's just left bloody on the floor. Herb Dean jumps in, stops the fight. Holly Holm is the new women's bantamweight champion. Holly Holm, world boxing champion, world kickboxing champion, world mixed martial arts champion. She has to be the greatest combat sport competitor in history. Nobody's ever done that. You got a world champion boxer winning mixed martial arts title. You have kickboxers win mixed martial arts titles. You've never had anybody win all three. It's ridiculous. As far as what's going to happen in the future with Ronda Rousey, supposedly this was going to be her last fight because she was battling with arthritis or something like that. I mean, that's just something I read. I don't know how true that is. But basically, poor girl's got to go back to the drawing board. And granted, I did not like her as a human being because of the nonsense that she pulls. I always respected her as a martial artist. Can't take anything away from what she's done for the sport of women's mixed martial arts. And Holly Holm, I believe, could continue in that without disgracing it, unlike somebody else has. I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.